It's been a long ass time. I know probably not too many of y'all gonna get up on here. I'm really not worried about views and who clicked on here, man. I'm just on here, you know what I'm saying? Because I was supposed to be on here December the 4th, and there's been a lot of shit going on, man. Like always shit going on. Um, all the way down from yesterday, well, the day before with the fucking riot shit and whatever else. But you know what I'm saying? It's been a long season, man, and Cowboys didn't do well. Um, as y'all know, I ain't been making no videos. This whole season has just been a complete disappointment to me. Um, but I did want to come over here and talk about some defensive coordinators that I think we should probably take a look at, since we do need to get rid of our current one. You know what I'm saying? And some of the guys on this list we don't have to pick up, but you know what I'm saying? It's just some ideas of probably some pretty decent people, you know what I'm saying, that I think could make our defense better. My first two are former head coaches and defense coordinators. Um, I would say bring back Wade Phillips, but there's no point in bringing back a former head coach that we used to have to play defense coordinator, so that wouldn't even be an option. Even though Wade is pretty good on the defensive side of the ball, but I don't think that'll be an option. Marvin Lewis, he's been sitting back. He had them linebackers for the Ravens, Ray Lewis, Bull Ware, and all them guys destroying and decimating everything. I think he could probably bring a little oomph to the defense. Romeo Cornell, just another name to throw out there. But if we had to pick from college, this list is kind of interesting. Really don't know too much about these college guys, but on this list, one of the names is John Heacock from Iowa State. And the other guy is from Wisconsin, Jim Leonhard, if I'm pronouncing the name right. But those are just a couple names, I guess, to throw out there for defense coordinator. But I don't know. That season was fucking shit, man. And I'm fucking disappointed in everything that fucking went on this year. Hopefully, man, Jerry and the motherfucking crew can figure out what they want to do to rebuild this defense, because our defense is definitely something that really needs to be improved upon. It has always been our Achilles heel for the last maybe 9-10 seasons. The defense really hasn't been supremely dominant. They've shown signs that, you know what I'm saying, that they could be good, especially when we had Rashad and Marinelli for, I guess, those 2 seasons, and everything would just go to fucking shit. Can't say what the reasoning behind this season is. Sean Lee is old, you know what I'm saying? He's not a starter. So Van Ash was supposed to be that guy. Van Ash has been dealing with injuries the last 2 years. Collarbone is never good for a fucking linebacker. He'll fuck around and it's going to be like a Tony Romo type injury, where it's just going to hinder him and fuck with him for the next couple of years, depending upon how he pads himself. Maybe even his tackling technique may need to change. Who knows? I mean, But one player I do want to put some emphasis on that really has been like mind-boggling to me on defense. That's really like been like surprisingly bad is fucking Jalen Smith. I don't care about his stats and none of that shit. It's the fact that when he's out there on the field, he just looks completely lost. Like he really doesn't know what the fuck is going on defense. He's sliding around, pointing that shit, and he'll slide around, point that shit. Will try to attack the ball. 9 times out of 10, he'll either take the wrong angle or he'll just completely miss the tackle because he's too busy trying to hand tackle someone or arm tackle somebody instead of flat out drilling their motherfucking ass. So I don't know how he can improve on that. You can watch all the damn film in the world. That's not going to improve your technique. And as far as like you being aware of what's going on defense and knowing where the ball carrier is going to be, that doesn't help you at all. That doesn't help you in coverage. In some cases, it might. But if you still don't know where you're supposed to be, regardless if you're playing a zone or if you're playing man or if you're supposed to blitz and you still are in the wrong places, then it's ineffective for the defense if you're not in the correct position, in the correct spot at that particular time. Let's talk about the back end a little bit. Cheeto Awuzie, Jordan Lewis, and Xavier Woods. All three of them were drafted pretty much in the same draft. I think they were. Yeah, pretty much all three of them were drafted in the same draft. X-Man Woods just came out and said that he takes plays off and whatever the case may be, but Fisher, I'm pretty sure y'all watch this channel. He had something good to say. Well, not anything good, but he did say this about Xavier Woods. He was like, well, how many key plays has he made on defense since he's been here? It's been a few, but it hasn't been consistent and it hasn't been a lot. One thing that lacks is consistency. We don't have any consistency. We don't have anyone that can dig in guys' chest and push and motivate these guys and make them want to actually be the players that we, the fans, and the team expect them to be. They end up being subpar players, or they don't play to their potential until they move on and go somewhere else. Maybe it's the system. Maybe it's how we're utilizing the player's skill set. It could be a lot of those reasons to why as though that particular player doesn't seem to fit in the scheme of what we're trying to do. Offensively, we're fucking outstanding. There's too many trade rumors about fucking Gallup and Amari Cooper getting traded, and we moving Lamb to the #1 spot, and all this. We basically got 3 #1 receivers, regardless of the fact. At any given time, any one of them could go off and get a 100-yard game, a 150-yard game, 200-yard game with 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? At any given time. So we're definitely good right there. Now, our quarterback situation is something that really needs to be taken care of. We saw all you Dak haters. We saw what transpired with the after Dak got hurt, with the backup quarterbacks being able to play, the Cooper Rushes and the Gilberts and the Beneducci's and the Daltons. We've got to see what that was like, and that wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Andy Dalton played well enough to, I guess, keep us Um, Not interesting, but competitive. Um, but given the fact that four is due his contract this year, Jerry has came out and said that he has mad crazy leverage, which I believe that he should, but it's also a detriment to what we could have signed him for almost 2, 3 seasons ago when he was still under that low ball contract that he had. And we're paying for it. And now you have Dak's brother coming out saying that, oh, because some of us, the fans, don't respect Dak. Not only don't the fans don't respect them, but the fucking team don't respect him because they tried to give him bullshit money, not try to sign him right away, but went out and paid Zeke, who wasn't good at all. And I'm gonna talk about him too. Went out paid Zeke, paid Coop 100 mil. We've been restructuring the fuck out of Tyron Smith's contract and Zach Martin's contract. Gave DeMarcus Lawrence all this stupid, crazy money for absolutely nothing. And it's just like the players that we have paid recently haven't lived up to the money that they're getting paid, and they haven't lived up to this contract so far. Especially Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke didn't even have 1,000 yards this year. Granted, he missed the game. All right, whatever. But for him not to have a long run of 40 or 50 yards this year, I think his longest run is like maybe 20 some yards, maybe. I don't know. I gotta look up stat. But for Tony Pollard to just come in and just straight come in and have the speed and the shiftiness and the wherewithal to, break tackles and get out in the open and get meaningful yards or even break out and get a touchdown shows that Zeke is in significant decline. And I don't want to say he's going to be trash or nothing like that. Zeke is going to be Zeke. But Zeke's productivity has really, really diminished. Could it be because we're passing more? Yeah, that could be a thing too. Because we're not on the field as much as we're always playing from behind. So opportunities are limited for Zeke. Zeke is used to getting 30, 25 carries a game. This year, he's probably averaging maybe 15, maybe 20. He's averaging at least 10 less carries, 10 to 15 less carries this year, opposed to how we were utilizing him in previous seasons. So with that, with the limited amount of rushing opportunities comes a lack of rushing yards, a lack of average yards per carry, lack of rushing touchdowns because you're not giving him no opportunities in the goal line like you would used to because the offensive line is bad. So you're forced to throw fades and lobs and stuff like that and try to just hope that, we can make something happen. But it's just not happening. And I think the trust for Ezekiel Elliott is pretty much gone. Like there's 3rd-and-1 opportunities, 3rd-and-inches, even 4th-and-inches, or just short yardage situations where Zeke of old, man, just give him the ball. He's gonna get it. And it's like now they don't do that. They trust throwing the ball more, opposed to taking a high percentage run play and fighting for those inches or those 1 to 2 yards, or we just simply just fucking punt the ball, So that's the Zeke factor. I really don't know what else to say about Zeke. I really don't have anything bad to say about Zeke other than um, he's just not explosive and he's lost his shiftiness. I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know if it's because of the COVID. I don't know. Don't know if it's because he got the money and he's just like, fuck it. And it could just be the offensive line altogether. Um, Another player I wanted to touch on, um, trying to think of another player to touch on that is kind of important to the team, but well, every player is important to the team. But um, one, who else could I talk about? The could talk about the emergence of CD Lamb. CD Lamb did play very well this year, and I think next season he's gonna have a good season. He'll probably end up being a Pro Bowl quarterback. I mean, wide receiver. Granted, if Dak Prescott comes back, because if we would have had Dak Prescott, we probably would have won maybe 2 or 3 more games. Then we probably would have won 9 games, opposed to the 6 that we won this year, or 5 or whatever. Our record was 6-11. So we would have won more games than you know than we did. Dak was also on pace to throw over 5,000 yards this season, and he probably would have had maybe 40 or 50 some touchdowns. Possibly would have been an MVP candidate this year. Who knows? We only can just speculate on that. But he was averaging almost like over 370 yards per game passing. He was damn near almost 400 because some games he threw for like 450. I mean, he was just ridiculous with the fucking passing yards this season. And his fucking completion percentage and his passer rating was pretty good until that last game, the game that he didn't finish because he had got hurt. And I think he had thrown an interception. So that made his rating and his kind of the completion percentage go down for the season. But before those plays, his percentages and all that were very, very high. And they were very, very good. And he was on his way to an MVP Pro Bowl type season. And with that being said, when we look at Dak Prescott and that whole situation, it really makes you really look at the team and be like, okay, Dak really is the most important player on this team. It's not Ezekiel Elliott. For years, it's been, oh, well, Zeke makes this team better. Zeke makes the team better. Dak needs players around him to make him better. And it's not even the case. It's not even the case. These players need Dak to make them better. And it's all vice versa. So this is one wheel. Everyone gets better. Dak gets better. Zeke gets better. It just goes back and forth. You know what I mean? They feed off one another. And if you got one player excelling, then that player is going to excel and get better as well. The repetition that's what Dak always used to talk about. I need my reps, need my reps, need my reps. Those reps are important because if you looked at his throwing style from year one till this last game that he played versus the Giants, his whole throwing motion, his throwing style, the way he sets his feet, even his release is completely different. And the progression and him getting better, it has shown throughout each and every season. His productivity has gotten better, except for maybe that one, I think that third season where everyone was like, oh, we need to get rid of him. He's just had a horrendous season. Everyone was still tripping off his rookie season in which he threw like 4 interceptions. I mean, granted, I think his worst interception season was probably like maybe 12 or 15. I think. See, let me give you some facts on that though. But when we look at him from a standpoint of not him just being a leader, but being the team, because basically Dak Prescott is the team. His worst interception season is 13. 13 picks. His worst passer rating is at 86. This past year, he had a 99.6. Last year was a 99.7. Year before, a 96.9. So his rookie year, he had that 104.9, which he had 23 touchdowns and 4 picks. But in the 4 games that he did play, he had 9 touchdowns. So he was definitely on pace to pass that 30 that he had thrown last year. So for the narrative of Dak Prescott being sorry, I just don't understand this shit. And you can't see my phone, but when we played Cleveland, he had 502 yards, 4 touchdowns, a pick, but his passer rating was 112.9, which is almost flawless. And of course, the game against the Giants, he had 166 yards within 2 quarters of the game. You know what I'm saying? I think he played 2 quarters. But when he threw that pick, that dropped his passer rating down to a 70. So that he would have threw a touchdown that game because we was well on our way to scoring on that drive when he got injured. So I just look at it like, okay, he had 1,800 yards passing in the 5 games that he played. That's almost 2,000 yards. So you put another 2,000 yards after 5 games. That's 10 games. That's already 4 racks. And then the other 7, he would have threw over 5,000 yards passing, like I said. He would have had over 5. So, excuse me. So that would have been inevitable. You know what I'm saying? He would have broke Tony Romo's record for the most passing yards in the season and possibly even touchdown record, maybe. Who knows? But I'm expecting these numbers and even more better numbers next season when he comes back. If and when he comes back. Because he could take the damn the franchise tag. Probably could just sit the fuck out, you know. But I don't want to play because y'all not trying to give me the long-term deal that I want. So just hoping that they could come to some type of an agreement on a long-term deal. But looking back on the NFC East as a complete whole, it was complete utter shit. And the best thing that happened this season was benching and the regression of Carson Wentz. That was the highlight of the season for me anyway, at least for the NFC East. Not only that, the Redskins, the football team won the East for the first time since I think RG was there. So that's been a long time since they won the fucking NFC East. And didn't make no video to congratulate those buttholes on doing it. So congratulations, butthole football team. Yay. All right. That's enough for them. But the whole narrative a couple years ago with the whole motherfucking Dak is better than fucking Dak is worse than fucking Wentz, and Wentz is better, and he's more finely tuned, and he has a better arm, and he's more accurate and all this shit. That dude is garbage, and he really showed us how fucking garbage he is. I don't care how many fucking backup wide receivers he had. I don't care about none of that. Dude showed all of us, not only us Cowboys fans, but the Eagles fans that adore him and love him the most, they all done turned their back on his ass within the blink of an eye As soon as they got Jalen Hurts, as soon as they drafted Jalen Hurts, he was on watch, on notice, all off the break. The day after draft, he's like, I'm on notice. If I fuck up this year, I'm gonna lose my damn job. If I get hurt, I'm gonna lose my job. Granted, he didn't get injured. Only thing that's really injured with Carson Wentz is his mental is fucking injured. And whatever the fuck he sees on the field, like I've been saying forever, this man has been the motherfucking turnover machine like Eli Manning was. Had he would have finished this season, I don't even know how many interceptions this motherfucker had before he got benched. Because I'm pretty sure he was on pace to throw about at least about 20, 30 fucking interceptions. You know, he's asking for a trade and all of this. It's funny. It's just real funny. All right, so yeah, he threw 15 interceptions, 16 touchdowns. His fucking passer rating has been fucking shit. He hasn't had one. He had 190, and that was against the Giants. And he still threw an interception in that game. So he had at least 2 interceptions in every game until they played Baltimore. The only game he threw a single interception where he threw single interceptions versus Seattle, the Giants, and San Fran. Threw no interception in 1, 2, and 3 games because the third game he got benched, so he didn't get a chance to throw no damn interception. And by that time, his passer rating was 57.4. That is trash. So when you look at his stats, he goes his rookie year, 3,007, and it's almost identical. 3,782 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 14 picks to his 79 passer rating. And then when you look at this season, 2,620 yards, 16 touchdowns, 15 picks, and a 72.8 passer rating. So we've seen this. This is the regression right here. This is a super regression. You threw 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 7 picks last year, and you double your interceptions this year. Early. Got you out of the way early. What's up, Pat? But man, yeah, man. I'm just on here chatting it up, man. I ain't been on here in forever. But now they're talking about they want to trade Wentz. They're fucking Doug Peterson and the fucking Tank Bowl and all this shit. It really wouldn't matter because the Eagles weren't going to do nothing or be anything this year anyway. They are always overhyped. They were overhyped last year, the year before that. Even the year they went to the Super Bowl, they were still kind of like borderline overhyped. Their defense is great. They have a great offensive line. I just didn't see that. I didn't see it at all. But still better than that. Never. It'll never be better than that. Never. But man, we definitely need a defense coordinator. Fucking Kellen Moore is still gonna stick his ass around. And I really think that Jerry's gonna hold on to him and give him that Jason Garrett treatment and let him see how McCarthy does this year. McCarthy puts out the same trash that he did this year and lay an egg. I think they're just gonna go away from him and promote Kellen to be the fucking head coach. I think that it's kind of crazy, but I said this last year going into this season that if they did fire McCarthy during the season, then he would have been the interim head coach off the break. Yeah, defense definitely horrible. Defense was trash. Wasn't nobody trying to get no sacks. I think D-Law finished with like 5.5 sacks for the whole season. I mean, it's just bad. It's really bad. And Van Ness really needs to get healthy. He really needs to get healthy. I don't think he's going to be the same. But our cornerback situation, Anthony Brown stepped up this year. He was kind of playing bad maybe about 3 years ago. I wanted him traded like hell. Him and Skandrick, when we had Skandrick, I wanted both of them gone at the same. Let's get rid of both of them. But Anthony Brown showed some promise this year. He caused a couple turnovers, made a couple good plays, locked down a couple guys. He wasn't getting burnt like how he used to get burnt as bad as he used to. So he's gotten better. Diggs is a damn dog. I love Trevon Diggs. Also, what's my man name? That was killing it playing safety this year. Thompson. Is it Darian Thompson? But yeah, he was really going in this year. He had a couple good hits. He made a couple good defensive plays. Got a couple interceptions. And we need dogs on defense. That's one thing that we don't have. We have too many finesse players. We don't have no guys that have attitude. We ain't got no guys that'll go out there and try to punch you in your mouth when we step on the field. We just got a whole bunch of just shit talkers that don't perform to what they talk. You can have D-Law talking about something. Yeah, I'm going to go out there and slap whomever. Then he go out there in the game, and he's getting roughed and punked the whole fucking game. He's not doing shit. He's not being effective. But one thing I did like is when they started moving Alden Smith to his side with the same side, and then you got Randy Gregory on the other end. That's fucking a destructive ass defensive line. They need to keep that and try to find a good defensive tackle to fit in the middle. We need a good, fucking powerful, huge ass defensive tackle that can fucking just clog the middle and take up like 2 linemen at one time. That demands that double team because he's just such an impactful player that you have to double him. We need that on defense, and we don't have that. So hopefully this season, man, we can draft some offensive linemen. We definitely need a new left tackle. I said last season that we should try to consider trading Tyron Smith, which sounded crazy as shit at the time, but I kind of thought about it. And we seen what happened this season. He was gone all year. He was hurt. And we saw what that did. They had Dak getting injured because he wasn't there to block that side. And that's the side Dak ran on and got hurt, despite the fact that the dude that tackled Dak clipped him from under his legs for real. And just like, that was just an ugly play. But we definitely need to improve our offensive line. We need a center. We need a fucking tackle, a left tackle. Left guard and is still, to me, in the air. It's still in the air between Connor and the other motherfucker. We just need to get fucking better. Everybody needs to get fucking better. But, man, I'm not going to be on here too much longer, man. I've been on here fucking 35 minutes and shit. You know what I'm saying? But everything is good, man. I'm here in D.C. with the motherfucking crazy-ass Trumpers and shit. But I'm safe. I'm good. The family's good. So I hope all of y'all are good. And I miss all y'all, man. And shit, man. We'll come back. We're going to be stronger this year. this summer's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna try to put out more videos. I just gotta get back engaged and back interested in doing this shit. I got kind of bored of doing it, I guess. But I'm gonna see you guys next time, man. And Cowboys Nation is still for life, man. Still here. I'm out.